So my microphone wasn't working during this run, but this will give me an opportunity to try to do a voiceover and narrate the run, which I haven't done before. Typically during the speed runs I'm a little bored and trying to tell the viewer what's going on when I don't know that the run's going to be at all meaningful. It gets a little tedious. So this is Robot Wants Fishy, but the remix map, and this is by far the longest of the maps in the Robot Wants It All game. I think all the other ones have finished under 10 minutes, and this one, you can see my personal best before this is 20:28, and the previous best time was 19:01. So this first part, pretty much on a cycle for this snurple that's up top. I actually died extra, so I'm behind, and I'm about 6 seconds behind at this point. It's not a terribly big deal. It might have actually helped for this next part that's coming up. So we're doing careful jumps over these crobs, and then we have to come up and get the teleport crystal. These 3 bad robots are quite annoying, and the timing here is different from what I'm used to. However, I get lucky that that bullet hits the ceiling, and then I get really lucky dropping down to not hit anything. Of course, at this point, if I die, I'm just going to restart again. But since I'm only about 5 seconds behind, I have to wait a little extra for this bad robot because he's up in the wrong place. But once I get the hacks power up, I'll see how far behind I am. So here, that was just really stupid. But we're coming over the top so we can get our first weapon and actually shoot things. The timing here works out pretty well, as I actually wait for this crowd, but I can still go over it. So I die to warp back to the checkpoints. Since I'm just doing real time, it doesn't really matter whether I walk back or like the extra time, the in-game time isn't relevant. So you see the in-game time in the upper left, 3 minutes right now. Goes up by 10 seconds every time you die. But since I'm just doing the real-time effort, dying to warp to checkpoints is worthwhile. I decided recently to just come underneath these 2 turrets because I've had trouble trying to go to the top. I still die, and really this beginning is not good, it's just passable. But since none of those deaths take a whole lot of extra time, like 5 to 10 seconds each, I continue because the double jump acquisition in this upper right room is by far the first crucial part of the run, because there's so many bats here. You don't really have time to just shoot them all, but dodging through all the bats plus the 2 turrets that are shooting at you, it's a real crap shoot whether or not you make it. So at this point I'm like, oh, I died a couple times, but it's not terrible. I have a little trouble making that jump. So those are 3 square jumps, which aren't supposed to be possible. The developer even said that, but a lot of times they will work. And this is a great jump just to get barely through there. So you'll see that when I actually pick up the double jump power up, I even split late and I'm still well ahead. So at this point, this is a run that's in pretty good shape. This next part is really the last major time loss opportunity, and I lose some time anyway. So none of this is going all that well except for the double jump room. Here I want to get 2 more power-ups, one of which is mandatory. It's the double bomb power-up in the upper left of this area. And you need the reflect in order to get past that crystal. Now this part, I'm going to die a bunch of times right away. None of them take a whole lot of time. You see them adding up in-game time considerably, but the deaths only take about 2 seconds. And then, on my first, good attempt to actually make it over here to get the first bomb upgrade, these are good just to help destroy stuff a lot faster. Now if I can make it over to the double bomb without having to start over, I'm in great shape. So I use the reflect pretty well there, do some really narrow dodging, and I make it. And so at this point, this run is in a wonderful position. You see it's not a goal, but it's still an improvement over my PB. Now, the time I've got is 20 minutes, and I wanted a considerably better time, probably around 18. So, you might think, oh, well, you're only 20 seconds ahead and you had so many mistakes. Is that even all that useful? But on my last run, and I don't know why I'm dying here, this is just silly, because I'm armed with the double bombs, the bats die pretty quickly, but again, the deaths are pretty quick. I don't have a good shield room either. I think I die a couple extra times, but there's not much loss. So as I was saying, the last PB that I had, I wasted at least 2 minutes on the bat at the end and then getting to Fishy. So I know that if I'm ahead, I have good chance of improving by almost 2 minutes. Alright. So I take out these bottom 4 turrets. Takes a little time, but it's not too bad. I think I actually take out this top middle turret. And why is this bat here? This bat should definitely not be here. That's considerably aggravating. So I take out this top turret because what that does is allow me to make sure that the cycle of the turrets is such that I can pretty much fire non-stop, even though I'm reflecting the bullets in between. So right here is a good spot because you get 2 bullets both hitting the target, but you're far enough away that the pals' bullets don't reach you, and then just reflect at the right times, and that was an unfortunate timing. That I think I thought that bullet wasn't going to make it, and this is why there's another bat that made it in there. I wondered if that was perhaps because I had made it through the double jump room without killing enough bats. I'm really surprised the way I'm dying here that my in-game time ends up as good as it was. But anyway, now we've got the shield and we go straight up. So we can use the shield to boost through that one. I think I missed this here. I don't understand why that doesn't hit the crystal. It really should have. I was right underneath it, but I think maybe the snurple was just too close. That's pretty unfortunate that I wasted a couple more seconds there. Then we're just coming over here to get triple bombs, which you have to have in order to get to the boxen, the, I think, third to last boss. So we die, warp back, run down, and now I think, where are we going next? That's a really stupid death too. Usually I kill that crab. I'm not sure why I decided not to this time, but now we're done with that room. Here we're waiting for the snurple to come back so we destroy that crystal. I have a shield, but as you can see, getting through this area without getting hit is painfully difficult. I'm lucky that bat didn't catch me. So it's better to just take out the crystal once early, that way you don't have to worry about it anymore. Use the damage boost to get through there, and then dodge through these turrets. Decided it was faster to just wait a little bit and dodge them than to actually shoot them from the other side. And I am focusing on being very careful in this section because I hit these crystals too often, and having a shield to here is really necessary. Sometimes these stompers don't actually line up so that you can make it through without getting hit, where you have to have a shield, and it's just good to have in case you screw up a little bit. So here's Dungeness Crab, and this boss is by far the easiest because you're super powered up at this point. A little mini goal would be to make sure that you die by his bullet after you get the auto harpoon, but I have not executed that. It's difficult to get his bullet to last long enough. You would just be able to warp back a little faster if you did. I think I die an extra time here. That's really just disappointing. So there's still a lot of unnecessary time waste in this. Now we're coming down to fight the angler. I don't know why I went left there. Angler is really annoying because the fastest way to kill him is to make sure all 3 of your harpoons are hitting him at the same time. But of course that means you have to be super close, and you're pretty much just going to kamikaze because there's not a good way to get super close and then get away without taking the hits. But I think this attempt, so I'm going to take out these 2 so that there aren't these extra bullets flying around. I'm going to die anyway. So I'm just wasting time here by not having died already. So the goal here is to dodge the bullet the first wave and then get right close and absorb them all so that you can just... So that was really good, because now I'm just pumping them out. I don't do perfectly staying in the right firing range, because you really want to just have all three of these harpoons nailing him all the time. I think I kill him on this cycle though, before I die again. That helps a lot, and I don't have to jump over him one more time. I'm a little nervous here about whether I get the power-up before I die, and you can see I'm a little shocked that I did, because that would have been a silly waste of time to have to go back up. So now we're just heading up to Dot's Boxen with our 3 harpoons, which are needed in order to get through a locked door. Not really a need to hit that checkpoint because I'm going to hit one right there. I think I screw this up too once I'm in there. Oh yeah, so this room's difficult because after you get through this little locked water area, there are a myriad of bats up at the top, and they're kind of just guarding that checkpoint, and I don't know why I jumped up at that point. I really didn't mean to, and so this is a huge waste of time walking all the way back. And this is kind of an example of the difference in death causing time loss. When I was dying at the PAL, it's just like 2 seconds each death. I died like 8 times right in a row, but still it's only 15 seconds. Whereas this death cost me a bit of time to walk back. But now you've got this checkpoint, it's all safe. Making sure you have a shield as you go up is very useful, because the next section is a little bullet hell kind of area. I try to mitigate that by taking out some of the bad robots. Taking out the turrets would take way too long, and they're all going to fire aimlessly to the left. I was a little worried about taking that hit. I don't usually come around the left here, but I didn't really have a choice at this point. Either I had to come back and get a shield, and this was just a miraculous dodge to get to that checkpoint up there. I was super happy about that. And dying at Dot's Boxen doesn't really hurt you much, because the checkpoint's right there. The goal is to pump as many bullets into him as you can, as fast as possible. This isn't a great battle, but I do take a couple extra. That was a stupid one, because I died. I don't think I even hit him once, and I wasted some time. But now it's dead, and you get the magnet power up, which confuses the hell out of me, because I've played for 13 minutes now without it, and suddenly it's just affecting all my movement every time I bump the ceiling, which is why I'm trying to avoid these ceilings, actually, because they throw me off. So now I'm ready to go fight the bat. I actually forget the name of the bat right now, but where he shows up is pretty much random at this point, and I'm really upset that I missed that checkpoint, so I come back to get it just to make sure I'm not doing that extra ground recovery. So sometimes the big bat is just right here in the upright. I don't know why I'm shooting these. I just got so sick of taking all of the extra damage in the other attempts. It is Battle Bat. But now that he's nice and over here, I can pump shots into him, and if I do die, he's really close to the checkpoint, so it's not a big time loss. Pretty happy to kill him on this shot, and I just die to make sure I have a shield as I go up to... Because there's so many bullets here, I have a lot of trouble dodging them all. There might be a better path that I could have taken. A little bummed that I got hit there, but... And then I waste a little time because I don't make it up to that snarple in time to get the reflect. But I only waste a few seconds. Dying, on the other hand, would be really terrible, because it's like 15 seconds to walk all the way back here, if you make it even. So now with the key, there's no real major time loss worries left. You just have to run back up to the top and then fight. There's one kind of enemy-laden area to get through, but it's not really so bad at this point because you've got shields, you've got a bunch of bombs, so you can take out bats pretty quickly. Just making sure you don't die too much on the drill baby, and then it's just a matter of trying to minimize stupid mistakes that cost you a lot of time. I was disappointed to hit that bullet because now I'm worried I'm gonna die on these next 3 stompers, because that obviously would be a time loss. It's just unnecessary, especially with all 3 of those, I forget the jelloids, yeah. All 3 of these jelloids over here shooting. Makes this a little harrowing. You just barely make it under that bullet. So now I'm in good shape. This room is not really so bad because, like I said, you're super powered up. You can take these bats and bad robots out pretty easily. I'm a little cautious just to make sure I don't lose my damage boost. The damage boost is really helpful for this last part. You can make it through here without dying if you go underneath this turret, but I find it safer to go over the top, even though I get a little nervous because there's 6 bats flying around me at that time. It's a bummer that I get hit right away on this, but I find taking out these turrets is just better because it's really easy to avoid the drill baby's shots without the turrets. With the turrets, it's just brutal. This is a little bummer, I'm missing all these shots here. Hitting him from this direction kind of is annoying. I think I just died. No, I stay alive. But now we've got a good rhythm here. Well, almost. Yeah, so this obviously could be a lot faster. I missed just 1 shot low. Cool. And then there's just an army of crobs up top to try to take out. And once you do that, you're done. There's a couple turrets up top, but not really a whole lot of danger as long as you're cautious and go around these shots. And at this point, you're in. So not quite under 24 in-game time, but 17:34 I was really happy with. I was hoping for under 18, but I just really wanted under 19. So the 17:30 was great, and you see it's almost a 3-minute improvement over the last time because the last 2 splits had tons to save.